Welcome to Van Lathan's The Red Pill, where we give you the brutal reality of truth. Very special guest today, man, Mal from the Joe Budden Podcast. The Joe Budden Podcast is just on fucking fire, man. It is the biggest hip-hop podcast probably ever. It really has become something that emanates culture. Like, it starts there, a lot of conversations, rather than just talking about things that go on, man. So I'm interested to know how Mal became a part of the Joe Budden Podcast, what he thinks is the success of it, and just basically what he thinks of the state of New York hip-hop. This is a guy that has deep, deep roots in New York hip-hop, going back with one of the biggest dynasties in the history of rap and in the history of New York. I want to know where he sees rap, where he sees New York right now. Is New York coming back? Obviously, one of the biggest guys in New York, Tekashi 6ix9ine. This was not discussed on the podcast with Mal. Might be cooling his heels for a little while now, man. 6ix9ine was in trouble with the feds. I don't know if you guys heard. His racketeering charges might be gone for a little while. I wonder if, that knowledge would have changed anything. I wonder if New Yorkers even consider Tekashi 6ix9ine New York hip-hop, like talking about, because the music is of a different style. But beyond that, we talked to Mal about some of his issues that he has with my brothers, man. This simmering sort of feud, this little beef that, of course, exists seemingly between members of the Joe Budden Podcast and the brilliant idiots Charlamagne the God and Andrew Schulz. Shout out to my brothers. What is this about? Is this real? They go back and forth taking shots at each other. There's been no crossover. Not recently, at least, nobody's gone on each other's podcast to talk about this. So I wanted to ask Mal a little bit about why he takes the blims at Charlamagne, why Charlamagne takes the blims at him, and why Andrew called Mal a fat Memphis Bleak. Mal said it, not me. Andrew came off the top with that one, man. This was a very fun podcast. It was recorded while I was up in New York about a week ago. So I had my Timbs on. I was in a New York state of mind. And I was very, very happy to have Mal on the podcast. Now, listen, we've had Joe, we've had Mal. We just need one more person. We just need Rory to get his ass up here and do the red pill, and then we'll have all three. So sit back, pop some pills, listen. We had a lot of fun. First of all, normally on the Red Pill Podcast, every week we make the white people clap because it's a studio full of white people. It's different when we're in New York because it's a bunch of niggas in the room.
Right.
But there is one white boy.
So we gotta make him clap?
Please, Chris, give us... Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bro, so we already jumped into the conversation. We're talking about, I guess, sobriety. Has anything changed since you've been sober? Have you noticed the change?
I'm up super early now.
Super early.
I was never a morning person. I hate it. Like, I hate getting up early. Now my body, for whatever reason, 7:30, I'm up. No matter what time I go to sleep. My body would just wake up at 7:30.
Yeah. And
I hate it because then I'll be sitting in bed with nothing to do for like 2 hours. And it's like, yo, all right, what the fuck?
What a great life. I'm at work at 6 a.m.
Oh, nah. Fuck that.
Every fucking day I'm at work at 6 a.m. I don't know, shit that happened in the morning. Niggas be like, oh, did you see First Take this morning? I'm like, nah, I didn't see that shit.
That's early.
6 a.m. every day I'm at TMZ.
It's dark out at 6:30 now.
Sometimes, depending on the season, but it is normally, there are times at TMZ where you go in there and it's dark and you leave and it's dark.
That's insane.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, one of my homeboys, I'm not gonna mention his name, he would come visit me in LA, and this is the first time I realized that weed can be a problem too, because I never thought that it could be.
Mm-hmm.
But we were out there he came out to visit and he goes, yo, I gotta find some weed. I'm like, all right, cool, we gonna smoke you out. It's LA, we find weed easily. He goes, no, but I gotta smoke or I'm not gonna eat.
See, I was never like that.
And I'd never heard of that before. Have y'all heard of that? Like, dudes that like you don't eat, you.
Nah, I was never like that. See,
bro, you don't feel like that's like. I don't eat too much. But you don't feel like that's an issue if you don't eat, you can't eat unless you smoke. You're supposed to eat, family, not you.
See, I was never like that. I was never that bad.
This guy, not me. I'm not supposed to eat. Everybody else needs sustenance and nutrition, not
me. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
On a whole different frequency.
Just walk around grabbing the air and using it for calories. It's crazy. But like, how long has it been like that for you?
For like a few months. So it's not much.
Damn.
And I never smoked in the morning.
What was your ritual?
I would smoke at night socially, but it was like a lot.
Heavy smoke.
Yeah, like we would go through like ounces. Yeah, we was going crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Mal, I gotta be real with you. Like, I listen to the Joe Budden podcast all the time, and I really enjoy it, bro. I enjoy the back and forth, the dynamic between you and Joe and Rory.
Thank you.
It seems like it's y'all all obviously been friends for a while. What do you feel like makes the podcast work? Obviously, it's the most successful hip-hop podcast of all time at this point. I think that's safe to say.
Thank you.
And a lot of guys paved the way in the hip-hop podcast space, you know, rest in peace, Combat. But why do you feel like it works or has worked like it has? Because it's really remarkable.
I think it's organic and it's real, and I think people get that and they sense that. We tried to keep it to where it wasn't something that was overproduced. Because essentially it was like we tell people all the time, it was therapy for us. Like we just wanted to get together every week and just talk about what was going on in the culture and in the industry. And, you know, when we noticed people started paying attention to it, that's when it became like a cool thing. And then now it's like people look forward to it and they want it. And now it's just like a oh shit type of thing. Like, you know what I mean? But I think people just love the real feeling that they get from it because it feels like they're a part of it and they're having a discussion with us and they relate to it because these are some of the same discussions that they have in their own crews and their circles and their group chats and shit like that. So they feel like, you know, we talk about that same shit too. So it's kind of dope to hear somebody else on another platform speaking from your same point of view.
Yeah. There's stuff on the podcast that I am amazed by. Because I never thought that I would give a fuck about some of the shit that y'all talk about.
Right.
I'm listening to Joe break down song lyrics and like go through and like, you see that? Yeah. That's a subliminal. And like I'm like, yo, why am I listening to this shit?
Yeah.
But I can't turn it off.
Right.
It's really compelling.
Yeah.
And to me, I always had thought that as much as hip hop has given me, the music was kind of the most important thing. But you guys kind of get into some of the things that happen behind the music that inspire songs, that you deconstruct beefs, you deconstruct all different types of pop culture. Like, what's your background? Like, what gave you guys the expertise to be able to go into this? Obviously, Joe is very seasoned in the industry, and Rory does his thing. Like, where does the deep well of knowledge come from?
Well, again, we all spent time in the industry or around the industry.
What's your specific story in the industry?
Well,
my listeners that might not know.
My brothers were my brother Big started Rockefeller with Dame.
Had him on the podcast.
Yeah, that was a great episode. My brother Hip Hop was the A&R at the time. He was actually the youngest A&R, I believe. He A&R Reasonable Doubt when he was 17, I think.
God damn.
He might have been 17 when he A&R that album. So I always grew up
17.
Yeah. He was still in high school when
A&R Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah.
Everybody, the whole room is just like, yeah, that's heavy. Everybody's shaking their head like, yeah, that's heavy.
So I
was working at McDonald's.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I got in trouble for oversalting the fries.
Yeah.
So
that'll cause some trouble.
Basically, at 17, I couldn't even handle the responsibility of McDonald's fries.
Right.
And he was A&R Reasonable Doubt.
Right.
All right, cool. Don't stunt on me by saying shit like that about your family.
No. It's not a stunt thing. It's just, that's just where I come from, that lineage.
Word.
So I was just, and I never, it's crazy because, and then I went to school, I was in the Boys Squad Harlem. So I got introduced to the industry from my brothers, but then I
had your own experience.
Had my own experience traveling the world, performing. But I never wanted to be on stage. Like that wasn't a thing for me. Like I'm a real private, laid back person. So being on stage was dope because I'm traveling the world with my classmates, my homeboys, and we seeing the world. It was dope. But then after school, it was kind of like I wanted to find a niche like in the background, somewhere in the industry. I didn't know what it was. So went through the whole young 20s and trying to find my way, getting in trouble, and a couple jobs here and there. Nothing kept my interest, but it was always leading back to something involving the industry, music, entertainment, sports. So being that my brothers were taking off doing what they was doing, I started paying attention to them. I would stick around more. I go up to the Def Jam offices, just sit in meetings and see certain things that was going on, and that's when I found my passion for it. And I was around for a lot of things that happened that people don't know about, and seen some things happen. So that's where my, I guess, expertise comes in.
Yeah. So those were obviously not just, that's not regular hip hop experience. That's an iconic
Right.
sort of movement that you were around.
And it's crazy because I don't feel like that because I was there. But once you hear people talk about it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
That
So
was-
you're
that
not
was
you're,
major.
so you're not in the room with Jay-Z and you're like, yeah, wow, that's Jay-Z. That's
Right.
not how it goes.
Not for me, no. And it's crazy because I remember one time me and Joe was at Mike Haas and Angela Yee's bowling at Port Authority. I think they used to do it at the bowling lanes over there.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Jay and Joe had kind of had a little situation in the industry for the year. They wasn't really, you know, talking and stuff.
Yeah.
So me and Joe are about to leave. So it's a couple of people in the area by the elevator or whatever waiting to leave. And once the elevator door opens, Jay and Beyonce walk out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing there. So Jay sees me. He's like, yo, what's up, man? He starts to now everybody turning looking at me like, what the fuck? Like, this is random as fuck. So that Joe was kind of standing next to me. And, you know, Jay like, yo, so what you doing over here, man? Who you with? So I'm like, you know, me and Joe. So Jay didn't even look at Joe. He was just like, okay, all right,
Wow.
I'm gonna holler at you.
Hey,
Like,
yo.
you know what I'm saying? So Joe always
Hey.
give me shit about that. Like, yo, you ain't even try to break the.
Because you know what, though?
I'm like, that wasn't the time. That wasn't the place.
Know what you were supposed to do? Yo, this is my man Joe right here. You know,
He
show him
know who
respect.
Joe is,
I know,
man.
but like, you played Joe right
Nah,
there.
it was he's with his wife. It just didn't feel like the right time for that conversation.
Joe.
Nah, never that.
Next time y'all go out, you got to buy Joe dinner or something like that. You looking back on it now, you feel like you should have said something.
I don't just because I know Jay, man, it wasn't the right time.
Wasn't the right time.
It wasn't the right
What
time.
was gonna happen?
What I mean, I
What
don't
year
know.
was this, by the way?
This might have been 2012, 13.
Oh, so that's recent.
Yeah, this might have been 2012.
That's recent.
Yeah, 2012, 2013. One of those years.
I think you and Joe gotta do some couples counseling, bro.
Nah, man.
I think-
Joe, he know what it is.
Yeah,
man.
that's
they
great.
cool now though. They're great now.
Yeah. I mean, Joe has become sort of, I call him Captain Culture.
Yeah.
Joe is really, it's remarkable, sort of kind of how this whole thing has happened.
Mm-hmm.
When did it become, it crystallized in your mind, yo, the podcast is working? When did it? Because at first the podcast was at first it was Joe and Marissa, right?
It was Joe, Rory, and Marissa. Yes.
Right, and you came on
I came on
after
after
he
Marissa.
kicked Marissa.
Yeah,
to
they had a little situation, and yeah. And then
shout out to Marissa.
Shout out to Marissa.
Yeah, Marissa, that's my girl. I like what happened with that. I wasn't like.
I was actually in Detroit working with my homeboy. He was playing with the Pistons at the time, and
Who?
then Brandon Jennings.
Okay.
And then he signed with the Knicks, so I was back here in the city, and that's when Joe hit me like, "Yo, you got to come on. I want you to come on and kick it with me on the podcast."
So it was you're the reason that Marissa got kicked off the podcast.
No. That happened before I even.
You called Joe up. And
Nah,
he was like, yo,
nah.
let me
Hell,
tell you what needs
Marissa,
to
that's-
happen, bro.
that's-
We could go straight to the moon. If
Nah.
you get her out of here
Nah, that's
and let me
family.
slide in.
That's family.
That is
Marissa's
family.
family.
Like I fuck with Marissa heavy. We doing some stuff. I think she's super talented, man.
Yeah.
Like her podcast is popping off right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you came in and then right away did you guys feel like, because I know the first couple of episodes that I listened to were about Joe and Drake's
beef, or
it wasn't
a beef.
not a really it wasn't a beef.
I know.
You ever see that movie Single White Female?
Yes.
That's kind of what it was.
Yeah. It wasn't a beef.
It wasn't a beef.
In Joe's world, it was a beef.
Does Joe still think it was a beef?
He thinks it was not a beef, but he definitely thinks it was some energy there. But I spoke to Drake about it. He was like, yo, I'm not going to respond. Like, I don't have an issue with Joe at all.
Right. Which is worse.
Yeah.
It's worse not to be responded to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
And but now we now know that Drake he's made it a habit of not responding.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I mean,
what's
when you're
going on
that big,
with
you got to pick and choose.
No, you don't.
I think you do, though.
You kill everybody that comes for you.
Do you?
Yeah,
Because
you
if
do.
if certain people are, I mean, everybody's going to, when you're that big of a superstar, you're going to get shot at by
listen, maybe you don't come at Joe at that point, but you definitely come back at other guys.
He didn't come at Joe because he really didn't understand what the issue was.
Because there was no issue.
Right.
Joe had made it up in his head.
Now, he respects Joe as an MC, so he would have responded if it was valid.
By the way, that was the first time that I asked myself, why am I listening to this podcast?
Mm-hmm.
But it was also the first time I couldn't turn it off because I was thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga talking about?
Right.
What is, there's no there.
Yeah.
But it was so goddamn good.
Yeah.
That's kind of what got me on it. Y'all understand that every week y'all do a podcast that's the length of a Godfather movie, and we watch that, we listen to it.
I can't believe that.
Wow,
that's what bugs me out.
Are y'all ever in the podcast when you're like, it's at hour 5, and y'all going, maybe we should wrap the shit up, but you just can't stop?
Sometimes the conversation just goes. I'm gonna be honest. We have certain things, certain topics that we want to hit, and then from there it'll just grow, and we can't stop this, man. We gotta just this is a great conversation.
I like to ask broad questions. Well, I'm gonna ask you a broad question right now. What's wrong with rap?
What's wrong with rap? I think there's too many. I'm gonna tell you where I saw it turn left. When rappers started becoming the head of labels and A&Rs and shit like that, putting their boys on, then it just became something where it was like, yo, everybody could do this shit. You know what I'm saying? It became something where people feel like everybody can do it. Now, I'm never one to tell somebody they can't do something. But I think with social media, and this was something we talked about on the podcast, Joe was saying how he felt like, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, it was harder to get on. And I'm like, no fucking way. Like, he said it was easier to get back on back then. And it's harder now. And I was like, are you crazy? It's easier to get on now more than ever because somebody can get a meeting with Puff. And when I say that, meaning if a kid in Ohio is dope and he puts his shit on Instagram and people start posting it, Puff could just open his phone and see this kid and be like, who is this? I need him in my office tomorrow. And it can happen.
Yeah. Whereas before you would have to get on a bus or a plane and come to New York City and stand outside of the building. Right. And hope that Puff stopped for you. Or be lucky enough to have him come through your city and get the shot that way. Exactly. Now everybody can be heard. You have a platform. You have the world in your hand now. Do you feel like, but that's exposing us to more music than we would have heard though, right? It is, but it's not necessarily a negative because we have a segment called Sleepers where I literally surf the internet looking for dudes or women that are dope, and I think that is part of it now. It is what it is, but rap is just, and I don't want to say anything is wrong with rap because, I tell people if there's not. It is to me a little bit more difficult to find artists that I have to hear. You know what I mean? But that's because this is what I tell people: you can't listen to everybody with the same ears. Like I'm not listening to Tekashi with Jay-Z ears. You know what I'm saying? You got to know what you're listening to. Like, what ears do you use for Tekashi? I understand. I understand what it is. It's energy. Yeah, it's like, listen, y'all act like y'all don't like Gummo. That shit. No, I tell people all the time. Tekashi, if you like Chris, you like that shit, huh, Chris? If he can, Chris, like I said that, and then Chris popped up. Chris, like, you don't fuck with Gummo? It's not for me. It's not for you. I respect that because I'm gonna tell that's getting to my point. Jay-Z is right there, and I'm getting to my point when I was young. My mom would curse me out when I was listening to Snoop. Turn that shit off. What is that? They talking like that about women that But now look what that era. Out of that era we got Dr. Dre. We got Snoop. We got Ice Cube. Like look what these men are doing now. So I can't knock what these what music is now. I can't. Like, I'm sorry. I can't say anything's wrong with it. It's just rap has subgenres now. Hip-hop has subgenres. A lot for everybody. Yeah. Yeah, and everybody has a platform. Now, I don't think that everybody deserves a platform because some people get up there and just be, it's like, what the fuck? But I think everybody deserves a shot. Yeah, the reality is that, man, if somebody is enjoying it and they really listening to it, if somebody's liking it, there's no reason to hate. No reason to hate on it, as long as there's variety.
Right.
My thing is, I don't like when Tyler Perry first came out and was doing this thing, movie wise. It's not that you necessarily have a problem with the Tyler Perry movie, but you just don't want all of black cinema to be
portrayed that way.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I get it.
You want that to be a part of it.
Right.
But you also need your high art, your conscious films, and some films that maybe even are a little bit more out there. You just don't want. And sometimes it seems like when something becomes on trend, it's like it's hard for popular music art to break away from it. So when I hear like 15 or 16 guys with auto-tune, I really start to go back and listen to old music. Like, what's funny? You said your mom didn't like you listening to Snoop. I caught my mom rolling up to Bone Thugs and Harmony in 1995. Come in the car, my mother was rolling up the joint, listening to the Bone Thugs. It's one of the first time I realized my mom was smoking weed. That's two different experiences. Yeah. Okay, that's a true story. She's gonna listen to this story. She's gonna be like, yeah. So like a year later, I would go with my mother. It's like, I think I would like to start smoking weed. That's exactly what I said. And she goes, are you serious? And then a bond was created that has not been broken yet. Me and my mother smoke weed together.
Y'all do.
Hip hop brought us together.
That's something I've never done with my mom. I'm weird when it comes to that. Like my mom smokes too, but I never smoked with her.
Why wouldn't you smoke with your mom? That's the first person you would want to smoke with.
It's just weird. Like I can't. I don't know. I'm just weird with that. Like still like I still feel like I'm a little kid and I'm not supposed to be doing this. Like
you feel like she gonna judge you?
I know she wouldn't, but it's still in me to be. It's just certain things like I don't even curse in front of my dad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't curse in front of my dad.
Yeah, like my pops, he don't like that. So
yeah,
it's like
my dad not
my mom. It's like. I'm like, oh, ma, I can't do that.
Yeah.
But then she'll call me, I'm saying, yo, what's up? I need something. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, I'm on the way. You know what I'm saying? But I won't smoke with her though. I will not do it.
Wait. That's crazy. You won't smoke with her, but you'll essentially
I stuff cones for her. All that, like, drop 10 off at the crib for like, here, have a blast.
Right.
And I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really, indulge in any of that stuff with my dad because in my dad's eyes, I'm still 11 years old.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? My dad goes out of his way to remind me of that shit.
Right.
Like, we at the crib, we at the house, the TV's there, the remote is here. He can grab it.
You go get it.
Go get the remote for me. Bring it over here.
Yeah.
Sit the remote down here, TV nigga.
Right.
Put it right here. Put the remote down. All right. Right. Go in there and go to the store. Hit $20.
Right.
So that would never happen with my dad. But with my mom, we smoke, and I feel like she does her best parenting high.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like she's not really thinking about like when my mom is high, she really gets introspective about life, and she starts talking about her life and things that she's done. That like me and my mom was smoking one time, and just out of the blue, she goes, I could think that I was probably a hoe in 1975.
You don't want to hear that.
And I'm like, huh? She goes, if there's a definition of a hoe, I would say yes, before I met your father, 1975. That whole summer I was a hoe. And I was like, all right.
Right.
That was important for me to hear.
Right.
You know why?
Why?
Because sometimes the images that we have of our mothers become these...
she would never do that. My mom
would never do that.
Yeah, we think our parents were just always our parents.
Right.
And they didn't have a life.
And they didn't have a life before.
Yeah.
It's important to know that maybe your mom got a little bit loose. That makes you a little bit less judgmental because you would never judge your mom. I say all this to say, maybe if you smoked with your mom.
I don't want to hear those things. I'm never doing it. I don't want to hear that shit. I never want to hear that out my mom's mouth.
Why don't people want to know that they moms got jiggy?
Listen, let me tell you something.
I like to know that my mom had a life, man.
No, I know my mom had a life. My mom's from Harlem, and she reminds me all the time. She was a gangster, all of this. Cool, great. But, it's weird when you get to an age where you realize certain dudes you saw around your mom wasn't your uncle. That nigga wasn't my uncle.
Right.
That nigga was trying to hit it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to an age where you like, oh, I get it now because now I'm in that position with chicks that have kids. Like, it's like, this was my...
Right.
Damn, ma.
When you date a chick that has kids, do you feel like you have to play Xbox with the little nigga or you just like, fuck him? Like, how does that work?
I'm weird with that. I mean, if the kid is there, I interact with kids. I know how to have interact with kids.
Like, how do you interact with someone?
How old is the kid?
Let's say he's 9, and he's 8. You know you there to fuck his mom. You just waiting for him to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So how do you interact with him, like knowing that you about to fuck his mother?
I mean, if whatever he's doing, if he's playing a game or something, I might jump on the sticks.
Hey, what's up, Jaleel?
Yeah.
Let's play Madden.
But after a while, it's kind of like,
Jaleel, aren't you getting sleepy?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, bro?
And then it's kind of like, yo, you looking at Shorty like, yo,
yeah, what's up?
Why he ain't in bed yet? Yeah.
Like, put him to sleep.
Yeah, I've been in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, do you typically date women with children?
Nah, I try not to.
Why is that?
Only because I just don't want. I don't like for kids to see me if I don't feel like I'm gonna be in their life. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm not gonna be around, like if I know the situation is just what it is, like, I don't want that. It's like, it's a little weird for me. Yeah,
my brother, he dates a lot of women that have kids and stuff like that.
Does your brother have kids?
Yeah, he has his own kids, but he doesn't see them.
Oh, okay.
Nah, I'm just joking. They old as fuck. I'm afraid of.
How old are you?
I'm 38.
Okay.
I'm afraid of parenthood. And
you don't have kids?
I don't have any kids.
Okay.
The reason why I'm afraid of parenthood is because of my nephews. My nephews have done so many things that are so fucking wild. In the last 6 months, they have done so many things where I would not know what the fuck
Are they older?
do. They're getting older, yeah.
Okay.
And so I don't understand. Like all of my homies that have kids, because I'm the last one that doesn't have any kids. All of my homies that have kids, it seems to be that you just kind of naturally gravitate into being a dad and shit like that. But now, like I have to tell my nephews, like, yo, like, don't record the little girls that you go to school with, whatever y'all doing and stuff like that. Do you know all the different laws that you're breaking and all the different shit? Because it's wild out there now.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes it's fucking completely out of this world, and I'm getting old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I see all the stakes. I see like how one mistake could change your entire fucking life.
Absolutely.
Which at that age I had no fucking clue.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have no kids. But it's funny you say that because I remember about 2 years ago we was at the Drew League in LA, and one of the little kids that was working the game, he was like one of the ball boys. He used to always talk shit like, yeah, y'all ain't got no bitches. He might have been about 14.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't got no bitches. Where y'all bitches at? Y'all sitting courtside. They ain't got no bitches next to y'all. So we thought it was funny. We just laughing at this little kid.
It's hilarious.
We like, you ain't got no bitches. He like, who ain't got no bitches? Like that. He start talking.
Yeah.
He came over there and showed us a video of his phone of him having sex with a girl.
Okay. Just to let you know.
14.
Chill, kids. If you
I couldn't believe that shit. I said, what? Like we all looked at each other. Me and my homies like, yo, this little nigga is really having sex.
Like just to let you kids know, try to tell y'all this shit. That shit is highly fucking illegal, and it doesn't even matter if you're in that. If you have that shit,
right?
They'll give you juvenile life for that. Like,
oh yeah,
stop fucking around, man. It's
crazy.
Bruh, and like when we were in school, there's no fucking way that would have been the talk of the entire fucking state.
It was a big deal when you kissed a girl.
Yeah,
it's cool.
A huge deal.
Yeah.
Wow, damn, we sound old right now, man.
We do. Some of my nephews have kids.
You sound old. Some of your nephews have kids. How old are they?
My nephews, I have older nephews, 23, 24, 25. Yeah. Some of my nieces.
They got kids and you don't have any kids. What you waiting on?
It's the weirdest shit. Gotta find a girl, man. I can't just put a seed in anybody. I never.
That's what a lot of people are doing. Even some
just
of the
putting
rappers
seeds.
we know.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Some of the rappers we know just putting seeds in anybody.
I can't do that. I'm not a rapper.
Yeah.
You're
rapper adjacent though.
Am I?
I mean, you got like 4 chains on, my nigga. What's that? The
nah,
Jesus
man.
piece? You.
This is my New York piece.
Yeah,
man. That's
I mean, like
piece,
you got like you're like if I didn't know
you
that
think
you
I was
were
a rapper?
Of course, I would think you were a rapper. You know what I'm saying?
That's a stereotype, man.
Why?
Because a black man has some jewelry on. He's a rapper.
With a black man. It's not even about being black. I had Cap G on the podcast. This nigga had all kinds of. That's rapper. Listen, that's the culture that you got this.
Yeah, but that's nothing, man. That's just New York piece.
Bro, I gotta be real with y'all, man. First, can I ask you a question about New York guys? All y'all from New York, right? Why, when a New York guy gets mad at you, why does he tell you, or why when he gets serious, does he tell you his entire life story?
He's just trying to tell you his pain and strife. Like
that's, bruh, like, shout out to Dame Dash.
Yeah.
Whenever Dame gets serious, I know Dame is serious.
Yeah.
Because it's like, Van, you don't fucking understand, bro. I've been out here.
Yeah.
86, 87, 88, Harlem niggas.
Dame is one
when
of the
real
greatest.
niggas was out here.
Yeah.
Got caught with a ratchet, 91, bounced back.
Yeah.
6 months later, I'm on the street, 10 toes down.
Yeah.
I'm like, Van, you don't get what I've been through in my life. And I'm like, all I asked you was KFC or Popeyes.
Right.
Like it's like it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. It's like I don't. There's a different energy. Explain it to me.
New York has seen a lot, man. And especially if you were a popular New Yorker, like in your teens, you were on the scene, you seen some shit. You seen some, and that's where New York is different from LA. Like I noticed, like LA, there's no in between. Either you getting it or you're not.
What you mean by that?
Like, it's certain dudes I know in LA that don't hit the club scene, never been to certain restaurants. Like they in their area in the hood, and that's it.
Right? Yeah.
And New York is totally different. You could have dudes from the hood that have seen some of this, some of that. They've been places. They've seen things in the city. LA is totally different. So in New York, you got to understand that people have seen, especially if you were popular, you've seen some shit.
Yeah.
Some real shit, though. Like some shit that is like, you'll be like, did that really happen?
Right.
You're like, nah, that really happened, my nigga.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New York is just that type of city. Like,
Yeah.
It
That's
is.
what everybody's like, yeah.
no, it is.
Everybody's like, yeah, we thorough in this bitch. Yeah. Y'all should have seen me with my Timbs on yesterday, man.
Yeah, I saw you. I saw you.
Y'all should've
But
seen
you
me with
looked,
my Timbs on.
it looked like you had it. Your jean was laying over it, right?
Nah, Wax had to fix that shit.
Oh, okay. But he not even from New York.
I laced my shit. I laced that shit up. Like I had it really tight.
Oh no.
I
We
did.
can't do that.
Like I was in the army.
No.
Yes, sir.
We
You know what I'm
can't do that.
saying?
That's nasty.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
No,
I
we
had
can't
the
do
army.
that.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta have
Like,
your-
I'm from Louisiana, man. We don't wear Timbs. I mean, some people wear Timbs. Niggas that wear Timbs in Louisiana, they trying to be something that they're not. You know what I'm saying? They down there, they're wearing Timbs, and they be like, yo, I got cousins in Detroit and shit like that. Nah, nigga, you from
Detroit is heavy on it. I tell people all the time, New York is a lot of like slack for that Timberland shit.
Detroit is heavy on the Timbs.
Niggas in Detroit wear Timberland jackets. Like, see, we ain't doing that. we not doing that in New York. Like, we gonna get the regular constructs and that's it. But niggas like Detroit, niggas wear Timberland outerwear. Like Scully's, the jackets.
Yo, man, my Timberland jeans.
Yeah,
bro.
like we not doing that. Like, and that's when I spent that time in Detroit. I looked, I was like, Detroit gonna have to start taking some of this Tim slack with us. Like,
yeah, it's a lot. It's Tim's. It's you know what? Kind of got popping in Louisiana for a little while. Y'all remember Lugs?
Oh, that was Birdman. That was his
Birdman had the
influence.
lugs.
Yeah, that was
man.
his influence for sure.
Birdman had people wearing red lugs. The thing about Louisiana is like we have our own trends and our own styles, but we also try every other style from everywhere else. We just try them out. You know what I'm saying? We just see how it works. Like I remember going to the mall, seeing niggas wearing them wife beaters that 50 Cent used to have.
Okay.
Remember like the high cut wife beaters?
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
I saw niggas with the Nelly Band-Aid on. They tried that out for a little
Oh,
while.
that's nasty.
Yeah, we smacked the shit out you.
Yeah.
But and then but a dude that I say always is underrated for the amount of influence that he has had on people everywhere, Cam. Because Cam had everybody wearing pink.
For sure.
And at this point, I was like 340 pounds. So I want you to know that trying to find a 3 extra large pink t-shirt
Yeah.
is like fucking impossible.
Yeah.
But I found it. And there's pictures of me dressed like Cam.
We got to get that picture.
Nah, you're not ever gonna find it.
We got to get that picture.
You're not ever gonna
The
find it.
internet gonna get it, man.
Nah,
We
man.
gonna find it.
But being from Harlem, why do you feel like when people are talking about influential MCs and guys like that they don't really give Cam his props to me for not just his influence on rap, but just his cultural influence? Every crew in the early 2000s wanted to be like the Dipset.
You know what it is? I think Cam just, I don't think he just really went hard. I think rap was easy for him. And I think that he was kind of like, I could do this in my sleep. Like I don't think Cam really was like, I want to be like an iconic figure. Cam was just Cam. You're like, I'm a fly dude from Harlem. I know how to rap.
I feel like he is an iconic figure, though.
I tell people all the time, Cam is the East Coast version of Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
I say that all the time. I say that all the time. Like, he's the East Coast version of Snoop Dogg. I think he's that influential coming from this coast.
Yeah.
And but a lot of times, again, like I say, I don't think Cam just like he's so laid back, he's so cool. It's like he's just like, man, whatever. Like I'll rap today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
all right,
exactly,
cool.
yeah.
I'll perform this month. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll go out and hit a couple shows. Like, I don't think he really like set out to become like this big major figure in hip hop, but it just happened that way.
It just happened, and like when they came through with their swag and everything like that, to me,
Fab is on that list too.
Fab is definitely on that list. Fab is definitely
Very
on that list.
influential.
But to me, Fab came out and he was the quintessential rap star, right? Like he had the beats, he had Clue, he had all the backing and all that stuff like that. And then it actually took me listening to a lot because remember now, the internet is not as popping, at least there as it is now. So outside of singles and stuff like that, you really had to crate dig and a lot to go get some of this music to hear Cam.
Right.
I mean, to Fab spit. And after a while, I was like, yo, fuck the songs that he was making that was his songs that we was rocking out to the clubs. Like this nigga's really nice, like really nice. And I think that his flow has really stood the test of time because now I look at him as an A+ diamond level MC.
Absolutely. I mean, Fab's been doing it over 20 years.
Yeah.
And he's still relevant. You can't find, I don't know anybody that's been doing something that they've been doing 20 years still relevant that isn't getting like certain accolades and appreciation. But Fab is somebody that I always tell people he's had the prototypical like great rap career. Like everybody can't have the Jay-Z career, the Eminem career.
Well, only one person has the Jay-Z career.
Right. So, but what I say is like Fab has been in like this medium where it's like he's consistently dope. And every time you look up, he doesn't look like he's behind the times. It look like he's still creating the wave and creating the trends, and he still looks like he's 19. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't look at Fab like that, but he's one of those artists that I tell people all the time, look at Fab. He's been doing it over 20 years, and he's still relevant today. Very relevant.
Does Drake have a classic
album? For sure. Take Care, in my opinion.
You guys all say Take Care is a classic. So you putting out, you got lists of albums, right? Other classic albums. So Reasonable Doubt. So you would go Reasonable Doubt, Aquemini,
Modern day classic.
Illmatic, and then you would go Take Care.
No.
Yeah, because it sounds fucking stupid to say that, right?
It's different levels to that, though.
Is it?
Because even when you talk about the top five, right? Everybody say Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, right? I always say you got to put them on the Mount Rushmore.
Right.
In the Hall of Fame. You can include them.
Right.
Let's do post 99, 2000. Now, do you want to put 50 in there? Maybe. Cultural impact and all that, right? And then you can now,
You don't like Drake?
Love Drake.
You sure?
Love Drake.
Because I'm catching a little.
Love Drake.
I'm feeling a little.
Like love Drake.
I don't know why people don't like Drake. I'm gonna be honest.
Love Drake. Love Drake. What I would like. Drake is a test, though. Drake is a test of whether or not we can be objective about people that we genuinely love. Drake has really spit more relatable rhymes. Like to me, like what's Drake's best verse?
For me, probably his verse on Lord Knows with Rick Ross.
Yeah, you love that song. I think his best verse is on the Aston Martin music remix. Okay. That when I hear what he's talking about, when I hear just him rap and really talk about what's going on with him, automatically connect with Drake. Automatically connect with some of the themes that he's talking about, even some of the stuff that he talks about from like what his parents went through and all that. So I think he's a fantastic talent. I feel like he can rap, all of that stuff. I feel like his music is unimportant. And
really?
Yeah, I feel like when we talk about classic albums, we're really talking about the music that's the most important to rap. The music that actually made you go, wait a minute. It made you take stock of the way you look at your society, the way you look at the culture and all of that stuff like that. Drake is a trendsetter. He absolutely changed the way we sort of maybe digest the music, but I don't think there's one Drake album that you have to listen to. You know what I mean? I don't think that there's one Drake album that you have, and that's okay.
Yeah, no, I mean, music is it's opinionated, subjective. Like I'm just listening. It's interesting to hear you say that, but I mean, I think when I'm listening to music, I'm just listening to exactly that, the music, the music, the lyrics.
You're going too deep into it, is what you're saying.
No, not that you. I like that. I like when people like can really express themselves about the music. But I think that when you listen to Take Care from top to bottom, and you understand that this is somebody that's rapping, this is somebody that's playing with harmonies, this is somebody that, is certain lyrics. It's just like, I think that you have to look at that body of work, and you can't have a discussion about great albums and not mention that album. To me personally,
I got you.
Like I understand what you're saying, but when you start talking about music and like what music is, it's like it's hard to have a discussion about rap and rappers and artists and not discuss that album, because from that album we got The Weeknd. You know what I'm saying? And then that Take Care album put Drake like in a class, like, okay, this dude from Canada is serious. Yeah. And then, from there.
I mean, the first time I heard Drake, I knew the game was in for something different.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He started singing in the middle of the fucking bar. Sure. I thought that the song had skipped.
For sure.
I was like, that was challenging for me. Like, I had never heard, shout out to Nice and Smooth, but like I hadn't heard somebody like. That was a challenge for me to be like, yo, this is rap. What you like? But he made it work. But I'm just thinking, so it's like, Ready to Die, Me Against the World, okay, College Dropout, Take Care.
Yeah.
You feel like that?
Yeah,
that album is next to those albums.
Absolutely.
So Ready to Die, and then Take Care.
Again, I'm not listening to Drake with Biggie ears. I'm not listening to Drake with Nas ears, with Jay ears.
You got a lot of different ears, man.
You have to.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot of different music.
Boy, y'all are good at music.
Like, you're not going to jump in a Range Rover and think it's going to drive like a Lambo, are you?
I drive a Honda.
Okay, so you're not going to jump in your Honda and think that it's going to drive like a Bentley, are you?
I jump in my Honda, and if it drives,
But that's what I'm
cool with.
But you understand what I'm saying? You got to be able to adjust.
I understand that. Once again, I feel like you're stunting on me with these cars and
it's
shit.
Never a stunt. It's never a stunt. I'm just asking you.
Nah, I get what you're saying. What you're saying. What's this thing with you and Charlamagne?
There's no thing with me and Charlamagne.
There's a thing.
There's no thing. Listen, bro.
Chris, is there a thing?
There's no thing. Yo, listen. Let me. I thought I put it to rest, but let me put it to rest.
There's a thing.
There's no thing. Listen.
It's like y'all be talking about something. Like y'all be be like, yo, man, Rihanna and Chris Brown have been sending subliminals. Like, Ma, what you say? I think fuck the Breakfast Club.
But I see.
If you guys ask me what I think fuck the Breakfast Club. I'd like all of this shit gets back to them niggas is over.
Yeah.
The Breakfast Club, Spotify is where it's at, nigga.
Yeah.
Fuck the. I'm like, wow.
But see, it wasn't.
I love that spicy shit. Somewhere Andrew's listening to this and he's so upset. But I like. Oh, by the way, we have to talk about that too. But I love that spicy shit. What's that about though?
Yo, listen. It started. I'm gonna try to go back to when. I think I said something about the Breakfast Club on the podcast, saying that I just didn't feel like it was as important as it once was. That's essentially what I was trying to say. Like, it's just not, it doesn't have that, right? And people took that like, oh, he going at Charlamagne, this, that, and the third. Then I heard Charlamagne saying something on the podcast. Then it was, on the Breakfast Club. So then it's like, okay, let's have fun with this. Right? So let's just add this little back and forth. Cool.
Right.
So it started with a little back and forth. But then when Joe went up there, and, Charlamagne was saying certain things, it was like, oh, he really feels some type of way. It's like he really like mad. And it was funny to hear him say he felt like I was being sensitive mad because anybody knows me know I don't give a fuck. Like, so it was just like, okay, so he feels some type of way, cool. He feel like I'm not in the class to mention his name and I'm the new guy and this, that. Fine, fam. It's all, what are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? We doing the podcast. We having fun. Like, this shit is fun. Like, I don't take any of this serious. Like, that's why to me, it's all like, come on, fam. Like, this shit is all fun for me.
All right.
But he said something in that interview, and when I see him, I'm gonna have a talk with him because he just he said something.
I love it.
He said something that
spice.
No, it's no spice. But he said something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
Which was
when he said something about what he felt like I should get paid from the deal. And where I'm from, you don't. That's like, so now you talking about what a man should get in his pocket.
I'm all about to give us his life history.
No.
Where I'm from?
It's just that.
Like where I'm from?
That to me.
Harlem beat, Boys Choir Harlem. Niggas see me on that stage, 92, 93, 94.
Nah. It was just like, that was like, that's almost like somebody saying your mother. It was like, hold up, fam. We was just having fun with this shit. Like, this ain't. Yeah. But now you on your platform talking about what you think I should be paid?
Yeah.
I never said that about Charlotte. Matter of fact, the book I saluted. I just said, yo, them shows on MTV2 wasn't it?
My God.
It was a good. It was a good. But what I did like is that he was trying to give dudes on the internet a platform.
He did.
But
shout out to D. Zamiro, shout out to Tax, shout out to all of these guys.
That's my niggas.
Yeah.
But what he didn't realize was like, yo, a lot of these dudes that's funny on social media, like on these Twitter handles, they corny in real life. So you trying to put a camera in their face, it ain't gonna translate.
I'm gonna be real with you though. That was the challenge with. I'm not so sure about Charlamagne and Friends, but I remember early on with Uncommon Sense, me and him had some conversations. And he was basically saying that like a lot of the people that they tried, is a different animal between being on Twitter and being on television.
Absolutely.
But still though, the people that were featured on the show, and I have
some dope people came out.
Yeah, there's some dope people.
Absolutely.
And they had some runs. What I'm thinking is, first of all, I love shit like this, just because, like it number one, because I'm messy. You know what I mean? But also because it's entertaining. And there is a thing to where, let's be real, you guys' podcast is doing numbers. And in our culture, especially the way, I don't know why we feel like there's not room for everybody to get money and everybody to have the same relevance. I remember when Tax was coming up, it was like, yo, Tax is the new Charlamagne. Right. I remember like, and it's just like, Tax is Tax, Charlamagne is Charlamagne, I'm me, you guys are you. It's really enough for all of us, especially since our culture is taking over.
Nothing for me there. I agree.
But the competition is still fun.
And that's all it was. That's all it is to me. It's just like, yo, we having fun with this. Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't want it, but I saw it getting to a point where it was like, oh, he might really feel like I have an issue with him. So then I said,
yeah, well, if you keep his back in every time.
No, but then it was times where even with Joe and Rory would be talking about Brilliant Idiots or Charlamagne, and I would sit, and that's why I'd be like, yo, I don't even get credit for that. It was times where I would literally go like this on purpose.
Right.
Not say anything because I knew people were going to feel like, yo, he really don't like Charlamagne. It's like, no, I think Charlamagne is a great dude.
Right.
It was just competitive shit. It was just having fun. But then, like I said, when he said that,
you feel like that was a little bit.
I was like, oh, nah, fam, you went too far.
That's too far.
Because I would never sit on a platform and say what I think Charlamagne should be making. Never.
What do you think he should be making?
I think he should make whatever he wants to make. Honestly. Whatever he writes down and say, I want this, yo, go get that.
Right.
I salute shit like that. I love to see dudes getting money. Like
you felt like that was maybe in some way trying to like lessen your worth or
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like it was like, yo, you throwing the shot. You said, oh, why would I sit down on the Joe Budden podcast if Joe's not there and talk to Maul and Rory? I was like, okay, cool. You ain't got to sit down and talk to me, fam. Like, cool, no problem there. Yeah. But I seen when you got up from that Brilliant Idiot seat and it was just Andrew there. I listened.
No. So now we at Drew's neck now?
No, I'm not. I don't know him. I never met that dude. I never met him. I never said anything about him.
I mean, yeah. So let's
find me anywhere saying anything about that man. I challenge you. Find me, even when he spent the hour trying to come at me.
Not elite.
Yo, you're not elite. Yo, who is this fat Memphis Bleak and all this shit he was saying. Yo, I listen. I'm like, yo, I come from that. I used to sit on the block all day and snap. That ain't nothing for me. Right. But I had to keep
life history.
Yeah.
When was you on the block? 89, 90, 91.
Yeah, I'm built for that.
You know
I do that. I don't, you know what I mean? That wasn't
Shout out Rich Porter, the homies. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do.
Absolutely. But it became a little weird because I'm like, wait, hold up. I never said nothing about this dude. I never said his name out my mouth one time.
Talking about Andrew now.
Never said his name out my mouth.
So.
Even in this conversation, I still haven't said his name out my mouth.
Right, you haven't. But so when you said when Charlamagne was gone and it was just Andrew doing a podcast, you didn't enjoy it?
I don't think anybody enjoyed it.
Damn. Chris, did you enjoy it? Sure. Chris liked it.
That's his man.
Chris doesn't support white talent.
But again, all of this shit is just in fun.
Oh,
I don't have no issue with nobody. Listen,
God,
I am the most.
It is 1,000% fun for us. The whole fucking room is having fun.
Yo, listen,
because
this shit
we know the spice. We know because it's fun, but at the same time, there are some really spicy feelings behind it, and I can't wait. I don't know why y'all avoiding this fucking mega cultural moment of the Brilliant Idiots Joe Budden Podcast mashup moment. I don't know why y'all avoiding it. It's time. Y'all have been sending shots across the bow at each other.
Man, listen, man.
Like,
so
especially I gotta say, the whole not elite tangent.
Yeah.
Which I know you heard. It's one of my favorite podcast moments of this year because when Andrew goes in about something, Andrew calls me all the time with completely farcical wrong ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Like shit that he has that he's really thought through.
Mm-hmm.
But when he gets it out of his mouth,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, yo, you can talk Andrew back because he's a very good communicator, but he also listens to you when you're trying to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
He put the work in for the not elite thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, listen, I got these two motherfuckers.
But
He said, I'm approved to the world.
Did he?
He said, I got these two motherfuckers.
But it's interesting. But see, I look at that.
To the fucking world.
I look at that in a
because I got a #1 comedy album. What have they done?
But a #1 comedy album for what? 3 minutes on iTunes, and then you refresh it, and then it's who?
Mal, chill.
I know how algorithms work, bro. You can't talk to me about algorithms.
Hey, so you telling me Andrew ain't funny?
I'm not saying he's not funny. I'm telling you, I can't tell you a joke he said. I'm not saying he's not funny though. I don't know. I don't know none of his work. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know much about him.
He's very funny, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Very talented guy.
He might be.
Yeah.
But even like I said, in his rant, it was just funny that shit did his numbers when who was he talking about?
Oh my Lord.
So at some point we just gotta have a real conversation.
We gotta have a real conversation.
I'm all about having real talk.
Because
I'm a real talk type of nigga. Like I'm not gonna sit up here and bullshit you, Van. I love this type of shit.
Bro, listen, once again, just to let you know, you're giving your life history again. But but once again, I will say this. We were talking about Charlemagne, and then you did the same thing. You went to Andrew. There's spice there. We got to get this spice out in New York.
It's no spice, man. You listen, you Charlemagne. I love Charlemagne.
I know you do. I know. I'll be honest with you. I know for a fact.
And Charlemagne gave me big love when he came on our show.
Yeah. I know for a fact there's mutual respect there.
1,000%.
All parties involved.
1,000%.
I've been in conversations with all of those guys where they talk about how proud they are of what you guys have done.
1,000%.
And how y'all moving out here is undeniable. Can't nobody.
You know what it's like?
It.
It's like when the new dudes move on the block and, you know, the Brilliant Idiots was telling us to turn our music down. And we like, fuck y'all, and we turning it up.
Wow.
But it's not like we hate them.
Yeah.
We don't hate y'all. Like,
yeah.
But we just like, nigga, we lit.
Right. Oh my Lord!
You know what I'm saying? We don't hate y'all, but y'all gonna have to get used to us being on this block now.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's what it is, man. And you know who I am? I'm like the nigga up
I fuck with you. You know,
in the window, like, hey,
yeah,
Andrew, you heard what that nigga Maul said about you?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. It's really. Both podcasts, like you guys are so different, and there's, I know that there's space for everyone. When I hear it. Because, you know, I'm out in L.A. I'm the West Coast version of loudspeakers.
Right.
So I don't have really nobody to beef with.
Yeah.
And I'm still getting used to people loving me.
Right.
So what you say? What happened? Oh, do I have? What should I say? Fuck no jumper or some shit like that? No, it's a joke. It's a joke.
Hey,
it's a joke. I actually love that dude. I feel like he's living his best life, man. Check the internet, that nigga living. But no, seriously, and it's because all of this stuff makes it. Because be honest, it's not something to talk about. I mean, there's only so much pop culture we can all talk about, right? So sometimes we gotta exist, kind of doing this whole deal. But so when you say that you're gonna see Charlemagne, you're gonna pull up on him with the stick, like
I never said that. But go ahead.
You didn't say
I didn't say I was pulling up with the stick. I never said that. Never said that. No.
So, do you want to go onto the Breakfast Club and have a sit down with him, or do
With
it,
Charlamagne?
Yeah, do it on a podcast or something like that? Would you be interested if they called you up and said, "Yo, we want"? Because I did the Breakfast Club yesterday, career milestone for me.
Dope. Congrats.
Yeah, you don't give a fuck about the Breakfast Club. It's crazy. So, would you? But you feel like you need to address that one thing that he said with him?
Yeah, but that's a
That's not a podcast conversation.
no, that's a personal conversation.
That's a man to man. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect that. I respect
But
that.
I want him to know that it's all love.
I know, of course it is.
I respect him to the highest.
Yeah, so but the reality is that if you have an actual real issue with someone with the cameras and the mics, it's actually not the place to do it. It's like a real conversation.
And like I said,
feel what you're
I
saying.
just felt like that comment was just like, I might have to talk to him.
Do you really feel like though that the Breakfast Club is losing its luster because it's still moving culture at a high degree, right?
You were on there, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be great.
Audience, what you just heard was a fucking pin drop.
No,
in the studio.
okay. Here's the thing about the Breakfast Club. They're still doing numbers, but it's like are they really? What are they doing though? Like if somebody goes viral on Monday and you have them on your show Tuesday, to me that's not anybody can do that.
But they've made. Was the Tekashi 69 interview this year? That was this year, right? Mm-hmm. That we talking like upwards of 20 million views on YouTube.
But that's
like,
because of who? That most viral dude on the internet.
Yeah, but a lot of times when you're doing an interview show, excuse me, the put some respect on my name situation. That didn't pop because of Yee and Envy and Charlamagne. A lot of that stuff is guest driven. You know what I mean? So even like Treasure Star or any of the things that have happened on the Breakfast Club, Ray J, which I tell you one thing.
But you're going back some years now.
I know. I'm just saying, y'all haven't listened to that Ray J rant recently, and it's really y'all fault because go back and listen to the Ray J rant again.
When him and Fab got into it?
Yeah.
That?
I don't know why we don't listen to that every single day.
Ray J is one of the most underrated people on the planet, I think.
One of the most underrated humans ever to live.
Yeah. We talked about that on our podcast.
That's a gift from God.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw it, man. Look, y'all said, whoa, Ray J has given us a lot of things.
Absolutely. No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm with
1,000%. I told Ray J, I was like, yo, I respect you, dog. Mm-hmm. He knows why I respect him.
Yeah.
Quality television.
We respect him for the same reasons.
But so you don't think that they're cooling off?
Yeah. And I think but this is not you got to understand, I know a lot of people in this industry. So this isn't stuff I'm just pulling out the air. This is stuff that I know is facts.
Who to you is the wackest MC that got on? That some kind of way found himself in a situation where people listen to him, but you never understood it.
Damn, you trying to get me into some beef?
I'm not trying to get you into beef. Pick somebody that's the
wackest MC that got on.
The wackest MC that got on.
When you say got on, what you mean? Like he had success? Like he was actually like moving units?
The answer is Lil Zane.
But you want to know something about Lil Zane? Because I heard he got a deal without having any music. He got a deal off of just a picture of him. His manager walked in the office with a picture of him.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Why did I just hate on Lil Zane like that?
I
don't know where Lil Zane at right now. Man, Lil Zane, I'm sorry, bro.
But did he put out an album? I don't even know if Lil Zane put out an album.
He did. I used to hate whenever he would come on TV, bro.
Why?
I don't know, man. It just fucking pissed me off.
When he took one of your chicks, what happened, man?
Like he could have had any of my. They was going crazy at that point. You know what? It was jealousy.
He got a deal off of how he looked. It was a picture.
That's dope. So, I guess we moved past the beef now.
I'm beef. I've been a pescatarian since December 30th.
What a line. That's a bar. Why? What's the impetus behind that? The pescatarian. You seem like you're making a lot of life changes health wise. Yeah,
you can't keep. You gotta make changes, man. You can't keep doing the same shit over and over and expect different results.
I love this. I love that as brothers, we're starting to have conversations like this. Mm-hmm. We start to have conversations about what we eat, how much sleep we're getting, you know what I mean, and different things like that. Because I feel like in the past we haven't really addressed our health and addressed some things like that. And it's becoming almost cool to take a step back, address your mental health, address what you're eating, what you put into your body. When Styles and Jada opened up that juice bar, I'm like, yo, that is fucking amazing.
That was big for those type of rappers too, because they spent years, the content they were pushing wasn't the healthiest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just dope to see them now at a point in their life where they're like, nah, we understand like what really counts and what really matters out here. So,
Hip hop is aging gracefully, man.
absolutely.
It's aging gracefully. Guys
Absolutely.
like Hove and Puff, shout out to Puff and Nas.
Mm-hmm.
They're really showing us how to get older in hip hop.
Right.
And really be men and be about our families and be about it was a rough adolescence period we had where we lost a bunch of rappers and I tell you one thing,
Young
man.
and stupid.
Yeah.
Young and dumb.
The kids now, they definitely need these older guys to kind of set examples. Cuz a lot of the shit that's happening now is weird.
But you know what though? Again, I hate to keep doing it, but I blame a lot of this shit on social media because everybody feels like they have to perform. They on the stage, like a lot of this shit with these students hitting these teachers right now, like physically fighting these teachers.
Yeah.
It's the craziest shit in the world to me. And I commented on Baller Alert's Instagram because they posted one of the videos of the student punching the teacher in the face.
Talking about was this the one in California? Oh, the Baltimore one. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, this is why these kids are doing this shit because they're trying to go viral.
Right.
And y'all are helping this shit by posting this shit on your page. Like, take this shit down because, listen, when I was in school, if I would have hit my teacher, yo, the consequences that I would have been so scared to go home.
It's a life ruiner at that point.
Yeah.
I mean, for at least for a while, for me to have actually had a physical altercation with a teacher, first of all.
With an adult period.
An adult period. At that point, the cost would be so fucking high.
And this is what but again, you got kids in the classroom, you know, they doing this. As soon as the teacher and the student get into argument, they recording some shit. So now, with the student feel like, oh, I can't look like a punk.
Yeah.
I gotta perform. I'm on stage. I know somebody gonna post this on the Instagram. I know somebody gonna world star this. I know. So they feel like they gotta perform. So now it's like, you know, even from dudes not even want to fight without weapons no more. It's because if I get knocked out, a nigga in Africa might see this shit.
Yeah.
Because they going to put this on the internet. So if I get knocked out in New York City, somebody in France going to see this shit and be laughing at it and sending it to his boys. And it's like, so now dudes feel like, yo, I can't go out like that. So I got to take it to maximum violence.
Yeah, I get it.
You understand what I'm saying?
Nah, completely. What's the, just asking you, somebody that's so deep in and definitely an influencer now, what's the answer? Do you think there is one?
People just got to understand that, yo, being yourself is cool. Don't try to be somebody you're not. Like, people are trying to be who they're not. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you go home, you know when you did some shit, you're like, man, I ain't want to do that.
Yeah.
Be that person. Like, it's okay to be who you are. It's okay to be like, being yourself is cool. Not being stupid is cool. Like, being smart is cool. Like I tell people all the time, being smart is the coolest shit in the world. Do smart shit. Say smart shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what's really cool. Like, all of this knucklehead shit that these young dudes is doing, it's like, yo, fam, that ain't who you. That's gonna lead you somewhere you don't want to go.
What was a cat that was he was on Instagram, he had like 5 million followers, was the dude who used to run up on people and like jump in the store and jump all over the products and shit like that. Yeah. Not hating on him. Cause whatever, if you come from a deprived situation and you feel like you gotta empty out all the Sprite in the convenience store to get out your situation, God bless you. I hate that shit.
You know what's funny about that?
I gotta be real with you, dog. I hate that shit.
No, I agree. And we had to talk about that because it was like, growing up before social media was a thing, we had dudes in our neighborhood that was the knuckleheads that would do dumb shit.
That would do shit like that?
But it was also, they knew that it was repercussions to that. Like, yo, we gonna fuck you up because you're making the block hot, number one.
Yeah.
The corner store, this is our store. Like, we know Aki and them. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you going in there pouring Pepsi on the floor, knocking the chips down? Like, you bugging. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now we got to order through a window.
Right.
Like, we can't even go in the store no more because of you.
Yeah.
So it's like, but it's no more of that. It's no more, they not being held accountable.
Right. They're only reaping the benefits, so they just got to push it further and further and further and further.
Who can out-stupid each other? That's what it's a race to be stupid.
Yeah. Well, how much experience do you have with the South?
I got family in the South.
What you think about Southern rap?
Love it. It plays a very intricate part in
When did the
hip-hop.
change from New Yorkers hating on Southern rap to respecting Southern rap really happen, you think? What do you, like, anybody? Like, because I remember there was a time when
for me,
just period. Like, because I remember there was a time when
probably
niggas didn't really give us our respect down there, our MCs, our music, nothing.
I think Cash
For real?
Money definitely played a big part in that.
Cash Money was definitely huge for that because they, you couldn't deny what they were doing, and they were lyrical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you know what's funny? I remember my first experience with Southern rap might have been the Ghetto Boys.
Nah, that's hard.
And
That's
but
real
I'm gonna
music.
tell you,
That's
I'm gonna
real
tell you,
music,
but
though.
I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. I don't even think I knew that they were from the South.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was rapped for me. I didn't know where they was from.
Yeah,
like
they
it was
were
just like, yo,
hard,
this
though.
this shit is hard.
This podcast right here is a Scarface appreciation project. Me and Joe talked about it. Like Willie D, like Bushwick, those guys were hard.
Absolutely. And like I said, I don't even remember when I found out that they were from Texas.
Yeah.
Like I cannot remember that. But I think what really put that on the map, it may have been like for this last generation, it may have been Big Pimpin' when Jay had UGK on Big Pimpin'.
Yeah.
I think Jay gave it the cool stamp.
Right.
Like
Jay had been fucking with the South. He did
for
the
sure.
High remix, one of the worst Jay verses ever.
Right.
And that's really his only bad verse. I can't think of another verse that I hear from Hove that I'm like, yo, that's whack.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? You feel like the Monster verse is whack?
Oh nah, that wasn't a whack verse. He tripping.
I don't think that was whack.
Nah.
He named like 20,000 monsters before he started spitting.
Godzilla, Sasquatch. What do these things have in common? I feel like it was an emotional verse. I feel like he had got tired of people like Beanie shitting on him and saying that they're not rich. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But I don't think that was a whack verse.
Nah, that wasn't a whack
If you go back and listen to the Ha remix, that shit is horrible. That's like that wasn't the right beat for him. But you know what? That was huge for us because we didn't know that y'all saw us. Mm-hmm. Like we didn't know that it was we was on the radar at all. That and when Foxy Brown jumped on the Mid-X joint, The Party Don't Stop, we didn't know that like y'all saw us.
Yeah.
We was down here rocking, been listening to them.
The Hot Boys, I think, really blew the cap off that shit.
Yep.
Though. I think when Wayne said wobbly wobbly, it was like, okay, these niggas is here. Like, they here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's no denying them. Like, they are in the game for sure now.
Yeah.
But for me, like I said, it goes back to the Ghetto Boys. That was my first experience.
Ghetto Boys. Atlanta has hip-hop right now.
Mm-hmm.
What is it going to take? I'm going to ask you this, rap expert. What is it going to take for New York? New York is back, but what is it going to take for New York to fully be back?
New York got to support New York. New York don't support New York. Like we'll show artists from every other city, every other coast more love than we'll show our artists from right down the street.
How long has that been going on?
It's the 50 effect since 50 and Ja. I think that kind of divided New York, and that kind of like somebody like I said, I don't even like to talk when I talk rap. I don't even talk Jay. Jay is like an alien, but I think if it would take somebody like Jay to really like, and he's been more accessible in the past years because for a while Jay was like you wouldn't see him, but he's been more accessible and more rappers have had conversations with him and been able to reach out and actually physically touch him and shit like that. But I think that New York is just so divided, man. It's like we don't support each other enough. Even New York radio, we don't support New York artists. That's why I think the Ebro and Tekashi shit was so. I felt some type of way about that only because, I knew what the real tension in New York was when 50 was hot, and he performed at Summer Jam and they was throwing chairs at him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That was a real issue. Like Tekashi doesn't have beef with like that in New York City. Mm-hmm. Like it's some local shit, here and there, but this like 50 had like a real industry beef. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, but they let him touch the stage. So when Ebro didn't let Tekashi, and I think Tekashi would have tore Giant Stadium apart for Summer Jam. Yeah. Like without a doubt. And he's New York. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and he's like the hottest dude in on the internet right now. He's the hottest dude in the game right now. It's like, why wouldn't he be on that stage? But you have every other artist, So it's just like New York got to support New York, man. We got to get back to, and it's not like support New York and keep everybody else out. I'm not saying that. Like,
sure.
I love everybody.
Like Atlanta supports Atlanta.
Yeah. When one Atlanta artist has a video, everybody from Atlanta that's in Atlanta, every other artist is like, yo, I'm coming.
Yeah, and they really put their artists on.
Yeah.
Like
they break their artist record in the strip clubs. They break their artist record on the radio. And it's like New York won't do that. Like we so caught up in it's like we lost our identity for a minute. We started sounding like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was like we got to get back to just being who we are, and we got to get back to supporting each other.
That's a word. Last thing I'm gonna say is I want to see unity from New York podcasts.
It's unity, man. It's all love. I got love for everybody, man. I don't have no beef. I don't have no issues. I'm at a very, very
You don't have beef. You have a little pastrami. It's like
I'm pescatarian.
It's like you got a little pastrami.
I don't even want to see no.
It's like a tiny.
Nah, man. I told you what my only issue was, and me and Charlamagne ain't gonna talk about that.
Okay, well, you also obviously have to have a conversation with Andrew as well, and I
can't
wait for that.
Why though? I never said anything about him. I never said anything negative about Andrew.
Chris.
That's the first time I said his name, by the way.
Chris, you're there. Chris, can we get this podcast? We need to have a family cultural moment.
I have never said anything. This man
to
called me a fat Memphis Bleak. He called me every name in the book. He never met me. I never shook his hand. I never said anything negative about him. I never said anything. And even after that, I still never went on my platform and went back at him.
Right.
Never.
Right.
I was like, damn, like he feels some type of way. He's holding his homeboy down. Oh, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
It's cool. So it's like if me and Charlamagne scrapping, Andrew tried to swing. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see you though. But it's all love. Like I said, man, I ain't got no problems with nobody, man. It's all love, man.
I definitely ain't got no problems with y'all. I love the way y'all moving out here. I appreciate you sitting down.
Appreciate you, man.
All right. Give it up for Mile, everybody.